How's it going? Thought I'd just show you a little project I've been working on for ages and I keep forgetting to finish for one reason or another. So it's the black soldier fly farm. So this is it here. It's actually the old worm barrel farm and I've repurposed it. Now we have a large bathtub worm farm. So this isn't really a how-to because all I'm doing is using bits and pieces I've had laying around plus a few bits of pipe just in there that I've bought. Down the bottom here I have a little bit of a grate because black soldier fly larvae actually produce a fair bit of liquid. So I've just pop riveted in a bit of a grate here, and down there I have a little bit of a pipe. Just comes out through there and that will run into a container, probably a bottle or a drum or something to collect the runoff. Over the top of that I'm just going to have this little bit of shade cloth. I know that a couple of larvae will get down in there. I'm not too worried about it, not too concerned at all. And up here we have the collection tubes. These guys have actually got a little adapter I've put on the end. So what we have here are two bits of 3-litre drink bottles. The whole time this was a worm farm, we had loads of black soldier flies in here. So the flies obviously are using, taking advantage of this shade cloth up the top here or over here and laying their eggs through the holes, and then the eggs are falling down and creating the larvae. So the pheromones from the black soldier fly are reported to deter other house flies from congregating in an area. Hopefully, this being directly under our back door, if the pheromones are strong enough, they may not enter the house, but you know, I can keep my fingers crossed. One of the good things about black soldier fly larvae is they will actually eat meat and dairy as well. You can pretty much, well, we can put our meat scraps in here now and we can get rid of them rather than just sending them off to the tip. Once they pupate and turn into adults, all they do is reproduce then die. They don't feed, they don't defecate, so you don't have to worry about having a million of them in your house. They're not going to do anything. All they're looking for is a bit of a good time. The female will then go and deposit her eggs somewhere, and yeah, that's pretty much all it. So I'll load the compost into this and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So as you can see, this compost is pretty much all jam-packed with these soldier fly larvae. So these are going to go in the barrel with some more of the stuff. So there we go, that's pretty much all it. Bit of a retro fitting there. And just to show you the bucket, this is the bucket the soldier fly larvae will be falling into. There's just some coconut coir on the bottom there, just somewhere for them to feel nice and safe until they're harvested. That just sits over here, and I'll fix up the lid on that in a second. These guys should be happy in here, I hope, and like I said before, I'm just retrofitting. It's not really a how-to, so the design of these scoops that are going to collect the larvae will probably change in the future. We'll just see what happens. Well, it's about day number 5 now, and I'll just show you what we have under here. They seem to like the rock melon the best. But we have loads of black soldier fly. So keeping in mind these ones came in with the compost. They're not actually being laid into this little farm itself. So yeah, I'm most happy with that. They look like they're keeping happy. We have actually seen a fair few black soldier flies around as well, so I'm not too worried about them not laying eggs in here as such. Like as I said before, when this was a worm farm, it was a great soldier fly farm, so we always ended up with soldier flies in here in large quantities. So I think having these little holes open here will also aid in that, so the flies will come in. I think they're pretty much all happy in here as it stands at the moment. Oh, and I also, just to let you know as well, I've also had a look in the little bucket there and I haven't seen any as of yet, so none have harvested themselves. Give them time though. So that's pretty much all it, I suppose. I'll throw some more in and keep you updated as we go. It's been a couple of weeks since I shot the last bit of film. I came down here this morning and I found the black soldier fly harvesting themselves out of the wrong end. This is supposed to be the leachate pipe that drains the collected leachate from the farm away. These guys have decided to use it to escape the farm at the moment, so that's a little bit disappointing. Well, this is the farm as it stands on the 1st of January. what we've got in here at the moment is we had a rotten baby bear pumpkin from down the back. I harvested the rest yesterday, so I just sliced him over and decided to feed him to the worms. Had some manky grapes and the bottom of a watermelon, so that's just in there feeding them at the moment. I showed you the soldier fly that were harvesting themselves through the leachate pipe. Yeah, so that was yesterday, and this morning it started to leak leachate, so I have a feeling that's because of the watermelon and the other pumpkin in there. So I'll just bring you in closer and see if you can hear what's going on. That's the sounds of soldier fly larvae eating, so we'll have a bit of an investigation under here and see if we can find any of the little fellas. Look at that, happily munching away here on this pumpkin. So I'm rather happy with the way it's going as far as a black soldier fly eating the waste. One of the big problems I do have though is with the soldier fly harvesting themselves down the end of that, in that pipe there, I have a feeling that this setup here is not going to work too well. And I'm thinking about just putting a hole in the base up here so they don't have to crawl up any ramps or anything fandangled. They can just walk up out of the gooey mess down here and straight down the hole here. So, well, there you go. Finished it off yesterday afternoon. Well, almost finished it. Still got a bit of pipe work to do, but I'm more than happy with the results. I've lowered the angle of the actual barrel itself a bit. I've installed a harvesting chute for the bugs or the larvae to harvest themselves, and I've cleaned out the majority of the compost up this end. So it's still rather stinky and rather messy. I think also, grab a bit of light and bring it over, hey? Lowering the angle of the actual farm is going to mean that this end up here is going to stay a lot wetter, and the larvae don't like to pupate in wet soil or where they're eating, so hopefully that will force the larvae to climb uphill and go down this chute. This chute's just a bit of aluminium box work that we've scrounged over the years, and it's just held in place with 2 screws, one on either side, just to keep it on the barrel there. Now, this harvesting system, it's pretty basic. It's just a container with a hole in the top and the chute going through it. So the lid just slides up the chute like that. It's just a matter of tipping the bucket on the side. The idea of the coconut coir, and other people use wood shavings and things like that, is somewhere for the larvae to just dry off a bit and clean off so they can pupate. So what I might do is actually tip this out onto a tray and we'll have a look there. Rightio, so I'll just pull these guys out on top of this lid, and yep, it worked. We have larvae. So these guys have climbed up and harvested themselves. Oh, there's quite a few. I only saw a couple earlier. So it's just a matter of picking these guys out now and taking them down and feeding them to the chooks and the fish. So I'm really impressed with that. The other thing I'm going to put in is just up in this sidewall up here. I'm going to put one of these pieces. This is actually off a little soldier fly barrel I made that I never actually ended up using. So I'm going to put this just through this wall here. The idea of the cardboard is the black soldier fly will come in, the female adult, and she'll lay eggs in the little holes in the corrugation. So there you go. It's just a matter of getting a hole saw and cutting a hole in there. I've just put this little end piece in that came from Little Bucket Farm. The idea is a female soldier fly will go in there, crawl down there, smell all the goo and the delicious food down the bottom here, and in the little holes on the end of the corrugations of the cardboard, she'll just lay her little eggs in there. When they're ready, they'll just drop down straight into where the food is, and away we go. So yeah, all too easy. The only other thing I've got to do is just fix up the plumbing, but I'm not going to bore you with that. That's going to be fixed up fairly easily. So yeah, there you go, black soldier fly larvae farm. Most impressed with the way it's worked out. So I'm no expert, I'm no, this isn't a how to make yours, this is how we've repurposed something that we've got, and it's worked out fairly well for us. So any comments, questions, suggestions, just drop them in the comments section below and I'll get back to you. So suppose that's it. Have a great one and take it easy. Catch ya. Straight to the fishies. Come on, down we go.
We can see them all come up to the surface. some of them going to the chickens?
Yeah, I'll give half to the fishies. There you go. Give the other half to the chookies. Come on. Go, chookies. Oh, that tickles. Well, I think it's a winner with the chooks. None left. All gone. Hey, chooky chook. Cool.